And I always wonder if that's what one of the problems with people have, like with going to mass, for example, is if they're avid TV movie watchers. We have Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, Apple TV, Google Play, whatever, Vudu, YouTube, all that stuff, and there's nothing on. You're flipping. You spend 3 hours trying to find something through it all.
You're never happy with what's before your eyes.
And then you find something, and then it's like everything's moving fast. And if it's not moving fast enough, well, I'm going to change it, turn it off. But if you go to mass, and if mass isn't moving like everything else you're watching, well, I need to change the channel.
Well,
whatever. And
I think there's a lot of crossover. There's I think we live in a consumer culture.
Yeah.
And you're always hungry for the next thing or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So trying to get people to disconnect from what the culture's doing, what the world is doing, and be present at mass. And don't compare that.
I guess if you that's one thing I am doing at mass is this points of catechesis, and I try to just explain things more, and I think if people understood more deeply the drama of the mass, you would understand not what we do, but why we do it. Why? I think you mentioned that way in the beginning to me, and that makes eminent good sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's the why we do things. Get people to understand the why behind it.
And if you understand that, it's like, well, that's not just some action that's meaningless to me. Now I get it, and it pulls me in deeper.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and just helping people engage in what's happening. That there's so much right there, and it's not that. I try to tell people, we want you to be happy, but to the fullest. And there's one way to make that happen, and that's this relationship with Christ, and trying to get that across to them. And that's kind of what I thought too, is that so many people are so comfortable with good enough, and that's great, but it can be so much better, and if we can get you out of the good enough.
And I guess both the only way to do that is to demonstrate by such really an intense life filled with joy that other people to say, I want what that person has, because this person's is upbeat, and it always seems to be joyful, even when maybe life is a little difficult. Gosh, I want what that person's got.
Yeah.
I think that's how we sell the gospel, if you will.
Right.